fire in the California neighborhood. This is at Lanning Chemical at 26 and Howard Streets. Crews were called to the business, which houses chemicals used to make paint products, around 7:45 last night. Fire officials say there's no need for concern, or major concern anyway, but a level 1 hazmat was declared, which means hazardous materials were involved. There's little risk, though, to the environment and public health.
So crews initially started to make entry once they saw the amount of fire, the fire volume, the types of chemicals inside, not being able to identify those right away. They backed out and we went defensive.
MSD is monitoring the situation because of concerns over possible runoff, but no injuries were reported.
All right, we're going to turn now to a potential traffic issue. People who live around Brownsboro Road are asking state officials to leave it alone.
Yeah, this is in response to a new right-sizing plan which would slow down speeders, add bike lanes, and improve turning lanes all the way from Melwood out to Chenoweth. Want to go to Jim Stratman live for us this morning with some concerns from people who live in that area, concerns that they were not hesitant to voice at last night's meeting. Jim, good morning.
Yeah, you can say that again, Eric. A lot of people that came out to the meeting last night had problems with the plan that the state is proposing, and they let those officials know about it. Now, the plan as it stands is to take Brownsboro Road, which you can see behind me, 4 lanes right now, and limit it down to 3. It's part of a right-sizing plan, as you said, and it's something that the state is trying to do on roads all throughout the Commonwealth. Now, by limiting those lanes down to 3, it would cause 1 lane of traffic on each side and a center turn lane. Now, the excess areas on each side of the road would be turned into bike lanes to allow for bikers. The project would also include lowering speed limits and, as I said, making sure that there's room for bikers as well, other modes of transportation along Brownsboro Road. Now, state officials are saying that this plan would cut down on aggressive driving habits and speeds and really try to make Brownsboro Road a bit safer. But residents who live along Brownsboro Road say that they believe all this is going to do is cause more headaches.
It's a nightmare at 5 o'clock. Traffic backs all the way up to Mesh.
Lower the traffic speed. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. You can't have these heavy trucks going down this street on a 2-lane road. Somebody's going to get killed.
Right now, the plans for Brownsboro Road are not set in stone. That's why these community conversations are so needed. Really, they're going to help determine what the plan actually is when a final plan does get announced. Now, there was one thing that most everybody at the meeting could agree on last night, and that is some sort of work being done on Brownsboro Road. That's going to be repaving. Now, that is expected to start soon. An exact date has not been set. Eric, Haley.
Jim, thank you so much. The man who pleaded guilty to killing a 4-year-old girl and hiding her body has been sentenced to 50 years behind bars. Thursday morning in court, Dakota Hill apologized to Serenity McKinney's family.
I think of Serenity every single day and of the time we had together. And I think of how my choices have taken all of that away for everyone and cut her life short.
Hill was the boyfriend of Serenity's mother, Catherine Abby McKinney, who pleaded guilty to manslaughter in this case. She was sentenced to 12 years.
I'm trying to find forgiveness in him and in Abby. But that takes time. You know, when you break a bone, it takes time for the bone to heal. Even though this pain, I'd much rather have broken bones than deal with this type of heartache.
Hill will be eligible for parole after serving a significant amount of his sentence.
A grand jury has indicted the man accused of killing a Scott County deputy. Attorney General Daniel Cameron says the county's grand jury indicted Stephen Shang on multiple charges, including murder of a police officer. Investigators say he fatally shot Deputy Caleb Conley in May during a traffic stop at the Georgetown, Kentucky exit of I-75. The Attorney General took over that case at the request of the local court.
Today, family and friends will gather to say goodbye to 35-year-old Ashley Yates, just 1 week after she was shot and killed while leaving work in Westport Village. According to police, the man who shot and killed her died by suicide the following day. Loved ones are now using her death as a means to send an important message to thousands across Kentuckiana. Connor Steffen and photojournalist Ian Hardwick went to Westport Village for last night's candlelight vigil.
The simple embrace between those in mourning is how the family of Ashley Yates is keeping her memory alive.
And it's the hugs that I miss the most and that I think everybody's gonna miss.
Ashley's Aunt Becky is missing those hugs a little bit extra today, as are many. Gathered here around this makeshift memorial feet from where Ashley lost her life Friday. Police say Ashley lost her life to gun violence after leaving work at a men's hair salon. She was shot in the parking lot at Westport Village. The man accused of shooting her has been identified as Zachary Hines by the Jefferson County coroner. He was Ashley's on and off again boyfriend. Police say Hines then took his own life Saturday. Ashley's family says she was a longtime victim of an abusive relationship.
Ashley has always served a bigger purpose than herself, and I believe that now it is to raise awareness.
A recent study found nearly half of Kentucky women, 45%, and around 36% of men experienced or are threatened by intimate partner violence. That's not lost on anyone here, which is why they have this message to share.
If you see somebody and you know somebody that's having trouble in their relationship or you're stuck in an abusive relationship, ask for help and get out.
Through this vigil, Ashley's family is hoping to raise money to combat domestic violence. You can find those details in a GoFundMe link on our website, WHAS11.com. In Westport Village, Connor Stafford.
If you or someone you know is in a domestic violence situation, the Center for Women and Families has a 24/7 emergency hotline. Call 844-237-2331. You can also call Metro United Way at 211.